1968 Central Highlands, 4th Infantry Division Patrol Base. A rifleman reports sick with what looks like a minor foot blister. 3 weeks later, he's on a medevac helicopter, unable to walk, career over. In Vietnam, it wasn't always the bullet that ended a man's war. Sometimes it was the small injury that never healed. In this video, we're breaking down how ordinary wounds, cuts, blisters, insect bites quietly turned into permanent damage, and how those losses reshaped units long before contact with the enemy. What follows isn't rare. It was routine, and it caught thousands off guard. What hits you first in country is the environment. Heat above 90 degrees. Humidity near constant. Boots wet for days at a time. Army medical logs repeatedly noted that the most dangerous injuries often started as trivial. A rubbed heel, a scratched shin, a split cuticle. Down in the Central Highlands in 1967, line companies from the 4th Infantry Division were operating on patrol cycles lasting 10 to 14 days. Men marched 8 to 10 miles a day through soaked terrain. Blisters formed fast. They didn't dry. They broke open. A medic later recalled that everyone had foot problems, some worse than others. Another veteran remembered skin sloughing off like wet paper. Once the skin broke, fungus followed. Then bacterial infection. Medical officers recorded cases where trench foot-like symptoms appeared within weeks, not months. Swelling, loss of sensation, deep tissue infection. After-action reports noted soldiers evacuated not for combat wounds, but because they physically couldn't stand watch. Psychologically, this was brutal. Men trained to endure firefights were being taken out by their own feet. And once you were evacuated, return was rare. But foot injuries were only the beginning. Because a few weeks later, another small injury began taking men out even faster. After weeks in the field, cuts stopped healing normally. In the Mekong Delta in 1969, units from the 9th Infantry Division operated in rice paddies where water reached knee-to-waist height for hours at a time. Leeches were common. So were insect bites. So were razor cuts from daily shaving. Army medical logs describe how tiny wounds became entry points for tropical bacteria. Cellulitis spread rapidly in heat and moisture. Some cases progressed in under 48 hours. A veteran later recalled noticing a red line moving up his arm overnight. Another remembered medics drawing ink marks to track how fast infection advanced. These weren't dramatic injuries. No explosions. No firefights. But infections caused high fever, delirium, and extreme pain. Some required surgical drainage. Others resulted in permanent nerve damage. Unit journals recorded multiple riflemen removed during peak operations, not because of combat, but because infection made them non-functional. The psychological toll mattered. Men became hyper-aware of every scratch. Fear shifted from ambushes to what might be growing under the skin. And worse, sometimes the damage didn't stop after evacuation, because the smallest injuries could also trigger something far more permanent. Months later, further north, another quiet threat emerged: joint pain from minor trauma. In 1966 and 1967, Marine units around Anong reported increasing cases of knee and ankle injuries tied to repeated jumps, slips, and falls, none serious on their own. A twisted knee during a night movement. A hard landing from a helicopter skid. A stumble under a 70-pound pack. Individually, they were ignored. Cumulatively, they destroyed joints. Medical evaluations later found cartilage damage, chronic inflammation, and early arthritis in men barely in their 20s. A Marine later recalled being told, "You're not wounded, you're worn out." Another remembered pain so constant he stopped sleeping. Operational summaries noted that these injuries reduced patrol endurance. Men could still walk, but not fast, not far, not repeatedly. Psychologically, this was corrosive. Soldiers felt guilty for slowing their units. Some had pain until collapse forced evacuation. And when evacuation came, the damage was permanent. Careers ended. Mobility reduced for life. These weren't battlefield heroes carried out under fire. They were men undone slowly by weight, terrain, and time. By the end of a Vietnam tour, Army medical histories make something clear. The war didn't just injure bodies violently. It eroded them quietly. Small injuries accumulated. Healing failed. Systems broke down. Men were lost to the fight without a single shot fired. And for many, the war followed them home, into limps, nerve damage, chronic pain, and shortened careers. Vietnam's most shocking injuries weren't always sudden. They were small, they were ignored, and they changed lives forever.